I'm here to end what's been a really long day.
Hey Nick, it's Wingo.
We have reached a tentative agreement with the district. We're asking all members to return to their classrooms today so that we could have a full school day tomorrow. We wouldn't have reached an agreement without the support of the community and our students and parents and staff and colleagues from throughout the region and throughout the state. I want to acknowledge the courage of our students to stand up. We believe we now have a fair contract, and the strike is over.
Can you talk about some of the terms of that contract?
We can't release terms of a contract at this time because the agreement is subject to ratification by the school board, by our members, and by the East County Bargaining Council. So until it's actually ratified, we don't actually have an agreement. That's why it's a tentative agreement.
When will it be finalized?
When the board takes their action, we understand that they're planning on taking their action at their next regularly scheduled board meeting, which I believe is the first Thursday of May. And we need to get our members together, have a discussion about what we've agreed to, get their approval, and then finally go to our bargaining council for its approval as well. So I guess it'll be finalized probably when the board does their vote actually.
Now, Tom, it has been 24 hours almost on the dot here since you guys started working on this. You came out, you're giving your statement. I'm noticing a little bit of a tremble in your voice. Are you somewhat emotional about this coming to an end, or just is it the time, the length of all of this? Are you happy, relieved with the terms? Describe how you're feeling right now.
I mentioned earlier this is my community, and I care very much about what happened. This was not something that happened lightly, and yes, I'm relieved that it's over. I'm relieved that we can get back to the job of educating our students, and I'm relieved that we did it and we reached a fair and equitable settlement.
I know at this time you may not be able to talk about the specifics in the contract, but there were some key issues that you were concerned about, and one of those was teacher and student safety. Do you feel confident in the agreement that those needs were met on your end?
Again, I can't get into specifics, but we have an agreement that we can take to our members, and we feel it meets our needs.
Can you talk about what was the most difficult nut to crack?
Probably the most difficult thing, just in general, was to get entrenched positions to get people to let those things go. You have to remember that our district implemented the contract on us. And so as far as they were concerned, that was the contract that we were working under. And once they made that decision, I mean, I'll let them speak for themselves, but it made it a difficult thing, because that was our working conditions until today.
What was it ultimately that led to this compromise?
I think ultimately it was the support of the people that were out here. It was the support of the people that were willing to go on the picket line this morning, that were willing to stand up for what they believed in.
Here, here.
And you mentioned a little bit earlier this morning that some of the teachers had to get used to the fact that there were needs versus wants. Did you end up with some of your wants in addition to what you need out of this contract?
I hope so. I mean, I hope they'll feel that way. I believe what we got is fair, and it's the best agreement that we would be able to get under the circumstances.
Kids will be back in school tomorrow.
Regular school day. We'll be back in my building at 7 a.m. I've been doing this a long time, and what we went through is something that I've done before. I guess the bottom line is it's important to stand up for what you believe in, and that when you take action on it, you can achieve what you're trying to do.
Does the school district plan on coming out here as well? Making a statement?
I'm not sure. We just got done actually signing the documents, and they're trying to get schools going. So they're trying to contact their administrators and their staff, my colleagues, and tell them it's time to go back to work.
Anything else you'd like to add?
Again, I just like to thank everybody that supported this, because without the people out there, we wouldn't have an agreement. We'd still be in that room.
You know, there are lots of teachers we heard out up here on Division. Were you sort of propelled to get through this whole thing by the fact that they were knowing that they were out there?
Well, it can get lonely, and and you can begin to think, God, is this worth doing what we're doing? Are we really helping our members? And having their support kind of gave us the strength to get through the last 24 hours and the last year.